Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll call you right back podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast. I'm your host for this week and for the past 212 weeks, I guess. My name is Chad Medved. This is my podcast. This is episode 212, and this is a solo mission, baby. This is me, myself, and I for this week. I wasn't gonna skip this week, but I don't want to skip a week all the time. I like getting on here, talking to myself, being therapeutic. This is therapeutic for me to be able to get on here, whether it's with a guest, whether it's by myself. But I just like talking out. I like talking out what I'm thinking. Anytime I get to do a solo episode, it's kind of like, it really is. It's just me talking to myself for a little bit, and hopefully yinz are entertained by it. You know what I mean? But it's going to be a good one. I got some good stuff planned for this week. Like I said, solo episode, I don't know. People say they like them. I feel kind of like strange doing them, but they always seem to go over pretty well. I guess it's a blessing and a curse to be able to just talk to yourself for, an extended period of time, but I'm fueled up. I'm ready to go. Just had a nice stromboli from Nobby's in Cannonsburg, a little meatball stromboli for dinner tonight. Me and my wife watched Seinfeld last night, and this episode, George Costanza goes into work, and he's in his manager's office. I can't remember Larry David's name in Seinfeld, but he goes, "Costanza, what are you eating?" And he goes, "It's a calzone." And I guess it's a calzone. I called it a stromboli, but I guess he calls it a calzone in there. But long story short, it inspired my wife to get calzones tonight. So that's what we did. Pretty damn good. Basically just a pizza folded in half. What could you do without it? You know what I mean? Can't beat it. Wish I had a Turner's with it. Nobby's is slacking. Got no Turners down at Nobby's. Have to try to make that happen. But Seinfeld, almost at the end finally. I've been slacking. I have been slacking, but almost at the end of Seinfeld. I literally could have no idea how it's going to end. I don't know how I made it. I think it ended in like 98. How did I make it like 20 years? I can't even do math, like maybe 15 years without hearing the ending. Pretty wild. But the reason that I'm doing a solo episode this week is because, I was feeling a little under the weather. My voice is hoarse. I was hacking a little bit, coughing. And I don't know. I've been taking tests all weekend. You know what I mean? I've been taking COVID tests over and over again to make sure I'm not infected with COVID. I guess this is just, old school run of the mill blue collar cold or something. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do with it. We're living in this world where I feel like I can't even walk outside. You know what I mean? Do you remember when you were a kid and you would tell your parents "Oh yeah, I'm sick, I can't go to school," and they're like, "Fuck off, you're going to school." My mom didn't let me stay home really ever. I think I skipped school maybe twice in my life, honestly. Senior skip day, the only reason I got to skip that was I think my dad was on vacation or some shit, but, I didn't get to skip school a lot. But back in the day, it was the old rub some dirt in it. But now we live in this world of COVID where, I got a little sniffle and I feel like I'm marked with a scarlet letter or something. Can't even go into Giant Eagle. But just a little cold, but I wanted to, I'm a good person, wanted to take precautions and didn't want to have my guest in this week. So, I postponed it. Figured I'd give you a little solo episode, little special. But last week's episode, stellar feedback, as you would expect. Ricky Seaback was my guest. honored again. You know, I posted a bunch of pictures, made a cool reel, got to ride in the Mini Cooper, and it's just like kind of surreal. I got to print out the picture and send it to Rick. Actually, I'm not even going to send it to Rick. I'm going to go to Rick and I'm going to have him give me his John Hancock and, you know, a little signature on the picture. And I'm going to hang it up in my studio because, you know, that's legendary stuff. Absolutely is. But everyone loved the Rick Seaback episode. I must have had, you know, I bet you there was 10 people that messaged me that said his voice is therapeutic. His voice is perfect. You know, he has the best voice ever. I probably 10 people, honestly. But, you know, what do you expect? The narrator of Kennywood Memories, you know, he'll whisper sweet nothings in your ear. But figure we can get into some shit that's been going on in my life, you know, kind of talk on some things, what's going on, what's updating, you know, just a little real shit. You know what I mean? You usually have people in here. We had a great run of guests these last few weeks. And, you know, I've been trying to be adamant about like not involving my personal shit in the conversation and kind of clouding the conversation. Sometimes I don't do the best at it. Sometimes I do, but I feel like I have been making progress and getting better. So like I said, I'm going to touch on some shit that's just going on in my life. You know, it's therapy, you know, like I said, it's therapy, but life's been swinging at me, but I've been swinging harder. I have been. AC went out last week. I've never had more fucking problems with a house than my air conditioning. You know, it was blowing cold as hell, so can't complain there, but all of a sudden it's not even all of a sudden, but like for almost, you know, for 6 months, it's just leaking. You know, it would be ripping cold, but the damn thing is just leaking. And, you know, I could put a towel on the ground and just sop it up like that, but it's leaking. I'm trying to figure out why it's leaking, I just need to fix it. You know what I mean? Water's going to go under your floor. This is just homeowner problem. So I call one guy, have him come in. This is last year I have him come in. He does some shit. It does not work. You know, I call him again this summer. He does some shit, does not work. Tells me it's not under warranty. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, I had to get a second opinion. You know, this dude was telling me it's about to be, you know, 2 bands to be able to fix this air conditioning, which is, you know, I don't want to hear that. 2 bands. It was ripping cold, but the only thing is it's leaking. You know, I'd rather just sop the water up every day than pay $2,000. But called another guy in here, got a second opinion, and much to my surprise, it was similar yet so different. So the first guy called in, told me that none of my stuff was under warranty, says it was out, says that he checked. I was like, cool, whatever. Get this second guy in, he tells me, yeah, it's all under warranty. So this second guy comes in, fixes my shit with the part under warranty, fixes the problem a little bit, you know, it fixes it from leaking, but now the house was not blowing cold again. It would only get down to like 72 in my house. And before it would have no problem getting down lower. I know, first world problems, God forbid. But it's just like, you know, I'm paying to have this shit fixed. I just want to mitigate the problems, figure it out, and get it done. Nip it in the bud, you know what I mean? So this guy comes over, replaces the coil in my air conditioner, and then he leaves for 4 or 5 days. And then it just doesn't seem to be blowing cold. You know what I mean? Just doesn't seem to be blowing cold. So I call him back and I go, yo, brother. Excuse me. I go, yo, brother. Why is the house not blowing cold now? And, you know, we're jumping through all these hoops. I'm doing all this shit. He comes back over. He literally looks at me and he goes, son, I got it. So this is the owner of the company. You know, whenever I originally called this guy, he sent out one of his workers, which is fine. I have no complaints about that. The dude that came over and helped me, great worker for sure. But then after this problem persisted to happen, I called the guy back, the owner, and I was like, yo, dude, I would love to hear your thoughts on why this is still happening. Like I said, the only thing that's happening, it's not blowing super cold. And, you know, it's an air conditioner. I want it to blow cold. It should be able to get below 70. Jesus Christ, right? So he goes, you know, I'm going to come out myself. So the owner of this company comes out, super cool guy, older guy. He was like Mario, but if Mario was an HVAC guy, that's what it reminded me of. He talked more yinzer than I've ever heard anyone in my entire life. Really, really cool guy. But he comes over and he's looking around and he's seeing some things. And then he looks at me and he goes, you know, I could be honest with you or I could lie to you. And I was like, I would love honesty. And he goes, this is fucked. And I was like, Jesus. So no one wants to hear that, right? No one wants to hear your guy tell you that something's wrong. So where I'm at right now with my air conditioner, this guy charged it up, overly charged, so it blows cold. But he is working to figure out how we could make this damn air conditioner run correctly. But these are adult problems that are just like, in my life, bullshit that I have to deal with. Like at one point my house was like 85 degrees and like, I get it. I lived in this apartment, second story apartment for 6.5 years, no air conditioning besides for a couple of window units. I was sweating to death in there for the last 7 years. We worked hard to get this house to have an AC that works. So I'm sorry, but I would love to have the air conditioner work. I got 2 dogs upstairs. They sure in the hell would love it to work. So that's where I am right now as far as being a homeowner. My air conditioner is probably working 75%, knock on wood. And I'm just hoping that we could fix this and make it happen. But, you know, that's just some tomfoolery that's going on. On top of that, you know, the dogs, I got 2 dogs, both got pink eye. Not one of them, but both of these dogs get pink eye. One day I wake up and the dogs just have this green shit coming out of their eyes. I'm like, Jesus, that's going to be another rack at the vet. So I take them to the vet. Yeah, pink eye. They give you some drops. You know, you do this shit, flush them out, and we're just in the middle of that. And then it's just like, you know, one thing on top of another. I'm not going to sit here and complain this whole episode. I'm just saying, like, this is some shit that's going on. I had to cancel an episode a couple of weeks ago due to air conditioning shit. But like, you know, I'm not just dicking around with this podcast. It's, you know, if I'm canceling stuff, there's good reason. But, you know, I'm out here grinding, just so you know. But on top of me bitching and moaning about everything, I've been fishing a lot. I have to say I've gotten back to fishing a good bit again, and I have been enjoying it. But that's pretty much as far as like what I wanted to talk about. As far as what's going on in my life recently is just like that's just some shit, and I don't know. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm keeping people involved with what's going on in my life. You know, if you're listening to this podcast, you obviously enjoy it, and I appreciate that very much. And I don't know, maybe it's just me being the person that I am, but I feel like I always have to just, you know, kind of validate the work that I'm putting in with this podcast and letting people know that, like, just because I skip a week doesn't mean I'm getting lazy, doesn't mean I'm, you know, just dicking around. Like I said, I'm working, but some shit's happening behind the scenes. I have been trying my hardest to stay off of social media as much as I can. You know, I've been not posting as much extra shit, and like, I understand that as a business, you know, that's kind of not the right direction you want to go, but it's just like, man, I have been so conscious of my mental health lately, taking breaks whenever I need it, you know, just getting out of, you know, the phone and just, you know, kind of unlatching myself from the matrix of like what's going on in the world, because like, God, it's insane what's happening now. You know, shit's expensive, crazy shit like Roe versus Wade is happening, you know, shootings every fucking day. It's really a kind of a fucked up. I mean, it's not kind of, it is. It's just, it's a messed up time right now. And, I feel like I've never really had that, you know, affect me as a human being, until, you know, the last couple years. You know, I've been conscious of what's going on in the world, and I've been trying my hardest to, you know, keep a finger on what is happening in our world, but it's hard to do because the media is ridiculous, and I'm not getting all political and all weird or nothing, but it's hard. You know, you go on the news and you look at 6 different news channels and you're going to get 6 different stories. You go on Facebook, you got to deal with all these psychopathic friends and family. You know, you got to deal with some shit, but it's just a wild time to be alive. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's pretty crazy. Cost of food, seeing shelves empty in Giant Eagle, hearing about the shit that's going on overseas. You know, it's just crazy. It really is. It's an interesting time to just be someone. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a good thing, but it's going to be interesting what happens in the next few years. But let's hope some shit pans out. You know what I mean? But besides for all this serious talk, I'm done talking serious. I don't like talking serious. I really reached out this week and I asked for some listener questions so I could, kind of not just come up with content on shit to talk about this week, but like I wanted people to, I wanted to know what people wanted to hear about. I don't just want to tell people shit that I'm thinking about. I want to know what you want to hear about. You know what I mean? That's the right way to do it. But I had a good bit of listener questions come in, and I'll just dive right into them. Like I said, on Instagram at I'll Call You Right Back. I try to minimize the time I spend pissing away my life on there, but sometimes I put some stories on there. They're awesome. Sometimes I'm asking for, opinions. Sometimes I'm asking for some feedback. This was a time I just said, what do you want to hear about today on this solo episode? And definitely not that big of a surprise. The first thing, it just says Sky Bar. Okay. So in Pittsburgh, if you're not hip, we have a place called Southside. I don't know how to describe it really, because I have a lot of really close friends that have businesses in Southside, and I don't know, I'm careful the way I talk about it, but like to me, I ain't a huge fan. I don't frequent Southside a lot, let alone any of the bars. I'll go down there to go to Streets. I'll go hit up Zed's. I'll go chop it up with the people that I like down there. One Up, you know what I mean? But I would rather get beat with an old extension cord over and over and over and over again than walk into Sky Bar. If you haven't heard what happened this weekend, a video started to make its way around online, and it's a wild video. So the way that I started learning about this, I just started seeing foxtail video being brought up in different tweets, different anything like that. So I didn't really read the tweets. I just knew that it's something wild happened at Foxtail or Sky Bar. Used to be Diesel down there. It's just, it's a pit. But I see this video, or I see it's trending, and I just think, someone probably got in a fight. Someone's, doing something ridiculous in there. It is beyond what I could have ever imagined. So in this video, there is, you got to call it as it is. There's lewd activities going on. There is a chick that is laying on her back on the roof of Sky Bar up there. And, I don't even know if I should even say what happens, but another woman inserts something into her, a bottle of Voss water, and I'm going to just say that. Someone puts a bottle of Voss water somewhere inside of her, and just all chaos breaks loose. There's a video of this, all right? Right up close. Goes all over line, like all online. You could see it anywhere. It's trending everywhere. People are sharing it everywhere. And then today, I see that Sky Bar and Foxtail issue something saying that it's like that they're closing their place of business because of all the crime and shit that's going on in Southside. And then, someone issues a state of emergency for Southside, and then, it's just wild. But beyond all of this, the wildest part about this is, their shootings in Southside got to be twice a week on average for the past year and a half, 2 years, probably even longer than that. I haven't been there in a couple years, so I don't really keep up to date on how many shootings there are. But Southside has been pretty damn crazy, and because this video came on, they all of a sudden issued a state of emergency, which is just I don't know, it's just wild. But someone made the remark of they submitted the question of Sky Bar, so felt that I had to touch on it. Ridiculous. And then, they shut the joint down. Sky Bar and Foxtail, I guess, is closed until further notice. Very weird. But if you really care enough, the video's online. It's ridiculous. You definitely don't need to watch it. It's heinous. Second question, places you love and dread in PA. And let me say, I think this is a great question. Very broad though, so I'm going to try to keep, on a through line. So places that I love. I immediately think of riding my bike in the city. It's unreal how amazing Pittsburgh is and how accommodating they are to bicycles and, bicyclists. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things to do in Pittsburgh is to ride my bike around the city. That's the first thing that popped into my mind whenever someone said places I love. Second thing that popped in my mind, Kennywood. I don't know why it popped in my mind right away, but it really did. Spent a lot of time over there over the years. But besides places the random shops and restaurants, I like, other PA things. I was really trying to rack my brain on what I love here. And, I don't know. I just like going places. Don't really matter what it is. Flea markets, I like going to restaurants. I like going places, but, I love the fall time. One thing that is my favorite thing of the entire year, of every year, is October and haunted houses. It is beyond October. Fall time is my favorite time of all time. Hoodie weather, impeccable. The haunted house scene in Pittsburgh is pretty dope. I do have to say, I spoke to a couple of people from two of the biggest haunted houses around here. Well, my favorite haunted houses around here. I talked to Ricky Dick, who owns Castle Blood in Monessen, and then I talked to Spencer, who works at 100 Acres Manor, and he is, he's the manager of, all the actors and everything like that. They have, those are the two of the best haunted houses around, but those are things that pop into my mind immediately. The next part of the question, things I dread in PA. First thing that pops in my mind, probably Sky Bar. No, I'm just kidding. But nothing, dread, I don't really know. I don't really know what I dread going around here. Fucking bars, really. I like going to breweries. I like that. There's a difference. But I just let me backtrack on that, because that's not correct. I don't dislike that. I don't like going to certain places. You ain't never catching this guy in Mario's. Sorry about it. You ain't never catching this guy in the flats. It's just not my scene. Those are places that I would dread if I had to come up with a couple. Other places, maybe. What else do I dread around here? I don't know. I dread driving past Century 3 Mall on that back road where all the craters are. It's like the surface of the moon. Where else do I dread? I don't know. That's probably about it. I'm not really hating on a lot of stuff. What else do we got here? Okay, third question. Movies and shows you're watching currently. So this was a good one. Very interesting. I always love talking about movies and shows. A couple of things that I am definitely pumped about. Yesterday, me and Antoinette watched episode 1 and 2 of this show called Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets is a show that's on Showtime. It has Juliette Lewis and Christina Ricci. It is wild. Basically, the premise is this group of state champion soccer players, high school state champion soccer players, all girls, are going to nationals. They get on an airplane, and then the plane crashes, and then this chaos ensues. I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't really know much. You immediately find out that these people are these girls have to revert to cannibalism and shit. It's just wild. It's hard to explain. Christina Ricci and Juliette Lewis are both fantastic in it. Psychopaths. It's a good show. I don't know where it's going to go. We've only watched 2 episodes, but I'm excited to watch another one tonight. What other shows have I been watching? I watched The Bear with Jeremy Allen White. He is Lip from Shameless. If you don't know, that is a new show that's on maybe FX or maybe Hulu. I don't remember where I watched it. Maybe Hulu. But it's about a dude who is running a restaurant in Chicago, And it has been written up as being one of the most accurate portrayals of the restaurant industry. And I don't know, as someone who's never worked in the restaurant industry, I don't really have a lot of like grounds for an opinion, but being friends with some of the people that I am in the industry, I feel like that it's pretty accurate. Talking to people like Matt Christie from Streets, he used to work in a French kitchen, and he's a classically trained French chef, and he, the way he would describe things, he described them as like militant, very regimented, very like, ordered, and like, I don't know. You just got to watch the show. People ask what I've been watching. It's good. It's called The Bear. Jeremy Allen White. That's a great one. And then obviously I watch Stranger Things. This is the only thing that I'm going to spoil to some extent. So if you haven't watched it yet, start watching it, but fast forward a good bit until you don't hear it. I think that Stranger Things was sensational. Absolutely sensational. First season was amazing. Second season was very good. Third season was good. And then we have this long lull of time, and then they put out this fourth season. So in that long lull of time, I admit that the novelty kind of wore off of Stranger Things. I forgot about it. The kids ended up growing up. They look like full-grown adults now. But Stranger Things came back. I watched it all. It was amazing. I loved every bit of it. I love how dark it is. I love how it ended. I just love it. It turned out to be so good. They could have fucked it all up, but I think they really did justice with it. I think they did. If you have not watched it, I suggest it for sure. It sucks that we're going to have to wait another 2 years. You know what I mean? That's like the blessing and the curse of having these like, these group releases of just like all the shows being released at like all episodes of the season being released at once, because like I straight up watched all of them in a day. Same thing with The Bear. The Bear is only like 7 episodes, maybe. I watched all of them in a day. Besides for the last one, it took me a minute to finish it, but like I'll rip a whole season of a show on a Sunday morning. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and I'll just watch shows all day. If it's raining out, why not? But you watch all these shows in, 1 or 2 days, and then you got to wait 2 fucking years for it to come back. And it's intense because one, I forget about stuff. There's so much good stuff coming out all the time. I forget about things. So all the stuff with Vecna, all the stuff with Eddie, all the stuff with Dustin, it's going to be hard to remember it all. I just, whenever season 5 comes out in 3 years, or 2 years, or 10 years, whenever we're all old and gray, I'm going to have to just watch them all over again. But absolutely, I was absolutely surprised with how good the 4th season was. Last thing that I have watched that I felt that was worth mentioning. No surprise. Well, it's a surprise to me, but I guess not a surprise to anyone else. Top Gun. Top Gun, let me tell you, one of the best movies I've seen in a minute. Typical Tom Cruise movie, but super amazing. Miles Teller. I am a Miles Teller fan. He's the other actor in it. He plays Goose's son from the original movie. And, it's Tommy Cruise, Scientologist lunatic. He kills it. I think Top Gun came out maybe, what was it? It had to be, 30 years past the original? 30 years from the original one? Somewhere around there. When I first heard that it was going to come back out, I was like, no way. Like, this is never going to be good. But the only reason that it even got on my radar a little bit is because of how much praise I've heard about this movie. Not one single person has told me anything bad about it. And this is people that that never cared about Top Gun. They were just like, yeah, we just went and see it, and it was amazing. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll go see it. Antoinette, perfect example. Antoinette never watched the original Top Gun. I tried to get her to watch it maybe 10 times before we saw the movie. I told her a million times. In the 80s, Tom Cruise ripping, airplanes. You know what I mean? It's just it's Top Gun. It's a corny, like, 80s type movie. And I tell Antoinette this, and she just refuses to watch it. But then I say we should go see Top Gun, and like me, she has heard about it from everyone. She's heard all this praise, all these people that she worked with saying how great it is. She's like, all right, yeah, I'll go see it. Absolutely loves it. Then she's like, oh yeah, I want to watch the original one now. And it's just like, Jesus, that's typical though. Okay, moving on. Next question. Death Breath hot sauce. You already know. I got the peppers ripping in the box as we speak. I might even be having a new sauce this year if this other crop grows in. I got the Habs coming in. They're doing pretty great. I got a lot of fruit on them right now. I got some chilies coming in. I got some regular hot peppers coming in. I got some green peppers, got some tomatoes. I'm out here with this garden shit, just trying to make it work. But these deer ruined my CCR Gardens habanero pepper plant, and I'm sad about it. I was really hoping that thing was going to start ripping, but a deer must have pushed it over, knocked the whole damn stalk over. But the peppers and the hot sauce is definitely going to come back this year. So, stay tuned for the Death Breath hot sauce. Next question, Heinz Field Till I Die. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, everyone knows Heinz Field is no longer Heinz Field. I don't know. People are going to crucify me. I'm not a football fan. I'm not a sports guy, really. I don't give a shit. I get it. Heinz Field is Heinz Field, right? It's a cool name. We love ketchup. Ketchup's here. I get it. I get it. But now it's called like Acresia or Cresia or whatever the hell the name of it is. But it's like, what do you expect? The Igloo is gone. Now it's, KeyBank or PPG. Or is it or Consol? I don't even know all the names. Or PPG Paints is the current one. Consol is what it was before. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person, but it's like, this stuff gets announced and then everyone jumps on it. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, fuck this and fuck that. And it's like, I get it. But it's like, what are you going to do about it? Really? What are you going to do about it? And then this was like a multiple part question. So the next part was, why did you play football for so long if you don't like sports? And it's like, hey, I have no fucking idea, to be completely honest with you. I've talked about it on here numerous times. I don't remember who asked that, but they said that, and I was thinking about it today, and I don't really have an answer for you. I don't watch sports. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry about it. The last part of this was from someone else. This is from Vinny Candelore. He said Jamonville. I felt, we were talking about sports. Someone asked me, why did I play football? Well, Jamonville was a place that we went while we played football. Jamonville was a Christian camp up in Somerset where this crazy coach that we had would take us up there, and we would have 3-a-days. It was straight up like some Remember the Titans shit, except we were trash. Did not win a game my senior year. Like I said, no idea why I played football, but like that part was cool. It was cool to be on a team. I liked hanging out with my friends and being on a team like that in that regard, but I don't give a shit about it. I don't care about the game. But yeah, hey, go Steelers. You know what I mean? Sorry about the field. I get it. Heinz Field, everyone's still going to call it Heinz Field. It ain't even that big of a deal. Best meal that I had recently. The best meal I had recently, so I broke this down. I got two. I got a breakfast and I got a dinner. Breakfast meal, absolutely got to be the Oak Hill Post breakfast burrito. I have been fantasizing about it since I had it. I got to get back there. If you haven't had it yet, I strongly suggest you head on over there probably during a week. I don't know. Supposedly on the weekends it gets buck wild, so I haven't been able to make it there. I got to wait till a day that I'm off. Me and Antoinette could go together. But that place was fire. President's Pub in Washington is the place that I picked for dinner. They are I don't know. I think that they're a hole in the wall to me because I've never heard about them. I randomly, me and Antoinette randomly came across it and we went there and tried it out. Food is impeccable. President's Pub in Washington, very great dinner. those are probably the best meals that I had. What else do we got going on? Here we go. So this Sunday, we got the half-ass beer share. So this Sunday, July 17th, 12 to 5 at Intergroove Brewing in Allentown. Everyone is welcome to the half-ass beer share. If you do not know what it is, a half-ass beer share is a crowd of cool people that are, so half-ass beer share is a group of people that wanted to support all the breweries in the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild during COVID. Me and Mike Cottle talked about this a couple weeks ago whenever I had him on, but this is a quarterly beer share that they're doing, just so happens to happen on Sunday. But what you do, you bring a 4-pack of any beer from any of the breweries in the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild. You bring it to Intergroove Brewing on Sunday. There's going to be 3 bins there. There's going to be a bin for sours. There's going to be a bin for IPAs, and there's going to be a melting pot bin in the beginning or in the middle. You come there. The coolest part about this half-bass beer share is that you get a cup and you could just try all these different beers. So like, if you want to learn more about it, go back a couple of weeks and listen to the Mike Cottle episode, and we will kind of explain it to you a little bit more. But it's a cool time. If you're interested about it, please DM me and I'll give you more information. It's a great time. I asked Cottle if everyone is invited, and he said everyone who is cool. So, don't be coming there with no tomfoolery. But if you're interested, you like beer, you want to come hang out with some people, meet some people, DM me. I'll give you some details on it, and it will be a great time. You know what I mean? It's a fun time. I'm excited about it. But other than that, I didn't really plan on harping. I didn't even think I was going to talk this long. I'm sorry if it was, a chaotic episode, but like I said, solo mission, baby. I'm just out here trying to, like I said, I could have skipped this, but I figured why not get on here, see what comes out, see how it turns out, and have an episode for people to listen to. I get disappointed whenever there's podcasts that I enjoy that there's just not an episode that week. So I wanted to do my part. I wanted to put out an episode. I'm just appreciative of what is happening. You know what I mean? I'm appreciative of this podcast. I'm appreciative of all the yinz listening to it. It's just fun for me. It's a lot of work and it gives me a lot of mental stress for sure. But it is a fun time and I really love it. And I feel like some good shit is happening. My goal in life is to be able to do this podcast full time. And I'm not saying it's getting there, but it's getting there. And I'm excited about it. A lot of cool things happening in the future. And I'm just hoping that everything pans out like I'm hoping it would. You know what I mean? I feel like that, I just need some shit to go my way. Life's swinging hard, but I'm swinging harder. And you already know that. I'm going to leave you with that. Short episode this week. I appreciate each and every one of yinz. Sorry if it was a little bit confusing. Sorry if it was me rambling on, but a little 40-minute episode to help get you through your workday. Thank you for everything. As usual, I'll see you next week.